And I think that's a great point, Hack. But here's where the disappointment comes in with Brent is that with the same Jimmies and Joes, as you use that term, those Jimmies and Joes last year and the subsequent years before that weren't allowing 41 and 55 points back-to-back weeks. You know, they've got enough talent on that side of the ball to make an adjustment. I think that as an Oklahoma fan is what everybody is so disappointed in is, hey, you've got the best defensive mind in college football, arguably, and you're not making adjustments with the guys that you have that are on scholarship, that are 4- and 5-star guys, maybe some 3-star guys up at OU, and you're not making adjustments against an unranked TCU team that's putting up 55 points. I mean, that's where the disappointment comes in. To your point, though, give him some time. I get it. It's year one. Yeah. They had a bunch of craziness going. It was kind of a mad dash to the finish line and getting some guys in the transfer portal, getting some guys to stay and not go with Lincoln to SC. I mean, it was crazy, but you're the best defensive mind in the country. You got to find a way to get it done and no stop the bleeding.
But what if the bleeding gets to, say, 6-6 or 7-6? When we get to the end and it's the Sooner football luncheon or end of the year deal, and it's 6-6 or 7-6.
Well, I don't remember the last time that's unacceptable because I don't remember the last time an Oklahoma team. It had to have been before Bob Stoops. It's been 20 plus years that they were under 500. If they were under 500 or even.
But I only ask that because Texas remains, Oklahoma State, Baylor remain, the Jayhawks are still hanging out front. Iowa State's a knuckleballer. The weight of their schedule is in front of them.
Yep.
And if we're already seeing them get caught and get knocked out in some of these bars that they would normally be the alpha dog in, like, how are we supposed to envision them going straight on through with the same crew? It's not like they're waiting for guys to get back healthy. This is the crew.
This is the crew. And the worst part about that is not like they dropped a non-conference game. They are 0-2 in conference, which means they got an uphill battle. And you talk about, hey, you drop one at the beginning of the year and you're Utah, right? You can still go out west and you can win your conference and accomplish some of the goals that you want to accomplish. You're 0-2 against two of the teams that we picked to finish in the back half of the conference. To your point, George, you got an uphill battle to even get to the point where you're in the conversation of, well, you're not in the conversation, I guess is the point. Like, you're not going to the Big 12 title game. It is a failed season already in Norman, if you ask me.
Before we roll, Dillon Gabriel, is this what you – I mean, obviously – all Sooner fans want to see him play at his absolute best, but could you have seen this coming out of him? And look, where do they go with that trigger man? Because, a whole lot of schools have great quarterbacks, but I don't know too many programs who are anchored or triggered as much by the quarterback as this program has been in the last decade.
He's an incredible Band-Aid. Despite the last 2 weeks, a guy that has the experience that he has, that can come in and drive culture, that understands the offense. He's a godsend for that Oklahoma team. Him going down, to my point earlier, proved that because they don't have the depth behind him. They got to go out and get some cats, whether it's the transfer portal or some guys coming through this recruiting pipeline to kind of fill that room back up. And we've talked about it. You lose two guys that are starting at big-time programs in Caleb Williams at USC and Spencer Rattler at South Carolina. Say what you want about them. That's depth in a QB room.
That's a hit.
And so you see Dillon Gabriel go down this week, and that is a blow to Oklahoma. You got to be on your hands and knees hoping and praying that he stays healthy the rest of the year, or it could get really, really bad. I think last week, not to dwell on last week, but I thought Dillon Gabriel played really well in the loss to Kansas State. They gave up 41 points. Tough to win that way, but he is the glue on that offensive side of the ball.
We're dropping our merch.
We got to start calling Underwood Daddy Brad.
But I'm a big pod guy.
Breaking news. The Field of 68 has an online store, and it's your one-stop shop for the latest and greatest merch in college basketball and college football. You can find shirts to support your favorite team, make fun of your rival team, or boast Field of 68 catchphrases like Daddy Brad, Cussin' and Discussin', and the Star Heels. Go to www.fieldof68.shop today and enter promo code TOUCHDOWN for 20% off at checkout.